We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sailed into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly, sail into the mystic. When that foghorn blows, oh, I will be coming home. When that foghorn blows, I wanna hear it. Don't have to fear it. I wanna roll your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And together we will flow as we sail into the mystic. Foghorn blows, oh, we'll be coming home. When that foghorn blows, I wanna hear it. Oh, I don't have to fear it. And I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And together we will flow as we sail into the mystic. Oh, come on, come on, come on. answers you see. The announcement lady gently speaks.
Good morning. Welcome to the Centre for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Tanis Burnett, and I'm the announcement lady. So let's get right to it, because we have a very special day. For those of you who don't know, if you've been living under a rock, we have a very special guest here today, Reverend James Mellon from Northern Hollywood. He's here from the Global Truth Center in North Hollywood. And his beautiful husband, Kevin, who I just met for the first time. Welcome. So, big, special, wonderful day. And Jonathan, who's probably up watching, has he texted yet? He has. Okay. Good morning. We love you. We miss you. And we'll do you proud. So, on to the announcements. The Foundations of Science of Mind classes are continuing. This Wednesday from 7:30 to 9:30, you can still register. All classes are online, are archived, so you can catch it before you come to class, and the drop-in fee is $25. Upcoming class, the 4 agreements with Rev Jonathan. That'll be at the end of April. Stay tuned for more details. The women's group, March 24th at 7 p.m. Oh, that's this week. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. The women's group is meeting tomorrow. 7 o'clock here. We will be playing with an experience from the book E Squared. There are only a couple of copies left in the bookstore. There's only one in the bookstore, if you'd like to grab that. We have some fundraising events coming up. The Sondheim Cabaret evening with... It's been changed. Oh, it's just the date that's changed, not the fundraiser that's... Okay, emergency averted. It is still a Sondheim Cabaret with this week it is, with Rev Jonathan. Thursday, June 6th. Yes, it's a Thursday at 6 p.m. Stand by for further details and ticket information. Shop Your Girlfriend's Closet is back. Woo! That's 2 weeks today, Sunday, April 6th, from 12:30 to 2:30. Seasonal clothing and accessories only, please. So don't bring your winter stuff that you don't want anymore. Although, you might still need it. I tried. Price the items yourself, and if anything is left, you must take it home with you. Carmen has put it in big, bold, red letters. You must take it home with you. And last but not least, our practitioners are here for you. Don't leave if you have anything weighing heavy on your heart. I know I say this every week, but we have practitioners here. Helen Vallot, Mary Ellen Cassie, Margaret Ann Snyder. They are here. See them after service. I call it a miracle moment with them. They'll pray with you. They'll sit with you. They'll be with you. And you'll leave feeling a whole heck of a lot better. Now, I'm going to turn the mic over to my fabulous soul sister friend, Helen, as she is going to guide us through and take us on this fabulous spiritual journey.
All right. Thank you, soul sister. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to the Centre for Spiritual Living Toronto. Is there anyone here for the very first time? After service, you get a big hug. Everybody go and hug Kevin afterwards. It says, is it your first time to Toronto as well?
No, originally from Rochester, but it's been like more than half my lifetime ago since I was here. Like when the CN Tower opened.
Oh, that's a long time ago. Okay, well, I'll be sure to give him a big Toronto hug and welcome. Yes? Yes. And we come together here on a Sunday to... Celebrate! Yes, and create and live an extraordinary life. And that's what these teachings give us the tools to do. So to start off, I'm going to ask you to look at the front part of your songbook. And on the front are some words by Dr. Ernest Holmes. And you know what? I'm just going to get you all to stand up to read them out loud. Okay, let's read these out loud together and really embody what Dr. Ernest Holmes says here. I am happy and complete today and forever. Within me is which is perfect and complete. It is the spirit of all life, truth, and action. I am happy in the certain knowledge of this inner light. I radiate joy and life, for life is within me now. Life is within me now. Thank you. We have an amazing practitioner student, body of practitioner students. They rock. They're very good. Am I standing too close to this? And just turn it down a bit? Okay. It's very interesting hearing myself. So we have these incredible practitioner students that each week have been coming up and speaking about a core concept. These students are so brilliant. I get to sit in their class on Tuesday night, and they are pushing the envelope. They are really taking these teachings, embodying them, questioning them, learning them, and putting them into practice. And lucky for us, because we're going to have a group of phenomenal practitioners. So I would like to invite Lena DeSanto up to the front here, and she's going to talk about one of the core concepts. There you go.
Good morning, everybody.
Do you want the lectern?
Sorry?
Do you want the lectern? Would that make your life easier?
Yeah, probably. Multitasking. Good morning, everyone, and it's so great to see each and every one of you here. Welcome, Reverend James and Kevin. And yes, core principle 5 today is this is a universe of wholeness, allness, oneness. Spirit is a transcendent, perfect whole that in its infinite inclusivity harmoniously embraces all seeming opposites. So I've chosen to look at a verse from the Tao Te Ching, and it's from Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Living the Wisdom of the Tao. Lao Tzu from ancient China, 500 years before Jesus, dictated 81 verses, which are recognized by many as the ultimate commentary on the nature of our main existence. The Tao Te Ching, meaning the Great Way, balanced, moral, and spiritual, survives in thousands of versions, the mostly translated next to the Bible. The Tao, the supreme reality, an all-pervasive source of everything. The Tao never begins or ends, does nothing, and yet animates everything in the world of form and boundaries, which is called the world of 10,000 things. So I'll read the verse. The title is Living the Paradoxical Unity, and it's the second verse. So, under heaven, all can see beauty as beauty, only because there is ugliness. All can know good as good, only because there is evil. Being and non-being produce each other. The difficult is born in the easy. Long is defined by short, the high by the low. Before and after go along with each other. So the sage lives openly with apparent duality and paradoxical unity. The sage can act without effort and teach without words, nurturing things without possessing them. He works but not for rewards. He competes but not for results. When the work is done, it's forgotten, and that's why it lasts forever. And the concept of something or someone being beautiful is grounded. It's grounded in a belief system that promotes duality and judgment, perhaps even having the value in society. We are asked to explore the concept of paradoxical unity in the second verse of the Tao Te Ching. By changing our thoughts, we can change our life and truly live the bliss of oneness. The idea of beauty produces the idea of ugliness, and vice versa. Just think of how many concepts in this duality belief system depend on opposites. Our idea of life couldn't exist without that of death. Day is the opposite of night. What if instead you perceived all as a piece or a glimpse of the perfection of oneness? Perhaps this is what Lao-Tzu is suggesting with the description of the sage who lives openly with apparent duality and paradoxical unity. Imagine the perfect oneness coexisting in the apparent duality, where opposites are simply judgments. And they're judgments made by the human mind in the world of the 10,000 things. Surely the daffodil doesn't think that the daisy is prettier or uglier than it is. And the eagle and the mouse have no sense of the opposites we call life and death. They simply are, in harmony with the eternal Tao, devoid of judgment. Living without judgment and in perfect oneness is what Lao-Tzu invites the readers to do. He invites our wisdom to combine perceived opposites and live a unified life. The perfection of the Tao is allowing apparent duality while seeing the unity that is reality. Life and death are identical. Virtue and sin are judgments, needing both to identify either. These are the paradoxes of a unified life. This is living with the eternal Tao. Pairs of opposites are transcended, or at least seen for what they are, and they flow in and out of our life like the tides. The body has physical boundaries. It begins and ends and has material substance. Yet it also contains something that defies boundaries, has no substance, and is infinite and formless. We've heard this in Science of Mind. So they say you are both the Tao and the 10,000 things simultaneously. And in Science of Mind is each and every one of us are God as individualized expressions of God. Let the contrasting and opposite ideas be within you at the same time and allow yourself to hold those opposite thoughts without canceling them out. Believe strongly in your free will and ability to influence your surroundings, and simultaneously surrender to the energy within you. Know that good and evil are two aspects of a union. In other words, accept the duality of the material world while still remaining in constant contact with the oneness of the eternal Tao. The debilitating necessity to be right and to make others wrong will diminish. I believe that Lao-Tzu would apply the Tao Te Ching to today's world by suggesting the following. Live a unified life. Enter the world of oneness with an awareness of the propensity to compartmentalize everything as good or bad, right or wrong, beautiful or ugly, are standards of the physical world, not the Tao. Contemplate the insight that duality is a mind game. In other words, people look the way they look, period. Criticism is not always necessary or helpful. See the unfolding of the Tao inside everyone, including yourself. And be at peace with what you observe. And I do have an affirmation, and I'll say it once and then we can all repeat it. So today's affirmation is, I am perfect, whole, and complete in unity with all that is. Okay, together? I am perfect, whole, and complete in unity with all that is. Namaste, everybody.
That was awesome. Thank you. I told you they're going to be so good. So good. so interesting about judgments and experiences in life. And, you know, when things are going really well, we can just be okay with it and flow with it and go with it, and it's like it's all good. But when something happens and we have this judgment, it's like, no, that's not okay. That's not okay. Whether it's a judgment about an experience that we're having, a judgment about ourselves, a judgment about somebody else. And yet we have a couple of options. We could submit to the experience and become angry, blaming victims. We can fight them, and, well, I tend to fight a bit. Or we can surrender, and we can surrender into that divine, infinite place of wisdom and knowledge, knowing that as we surrender, we move into a place of dignity and grace and wholeness and perfection. And for me, when I have stuff to deal with, I usually turn to the teacher of all teachers, who is Emma Curtis Hopkins. And in a book called Unveiling Your Hidden Power by Ruth Miller, which is all on Emma Curtis Hopkins' teachings, she says, to generate faith, we must be willing to humble ourselves. Long before the time of the miracle-working prophets of Eliza and Elisha, it was taught that we rise up with authority before that which we have been meek. Just as there is a way to generate electricity, there is a way to generate faith. It is very simple. Speak the truth and stand to it. We speak the truth about the good, and we stand firmly to the truth. And as we do so, our faith grows stronger and stronger. And it goes out as a power to drive back the belief in the appearance of lack. Therefore, we must not just turn away from the condition, we must turn inward to the truth. We must turn inward to the truth. And so with that, I have another affirmation for you. And it's kind of interesting. It's sort of similar to Lena's. I go within to the indwelling truth of love, light, and healing. So repeat that after me, please. I go within to the indwelling truth of love, and healing. And with that, we are going to go into our chant, I'm here to remind you, and it's number 1 in our songbooks.
Here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
Yes, we are truly loved. We are loved by this divine, infinite power and presence of God that is this power back of all of creation, that is always expressing for our highest and best good. For each one of us is this divine presence of God, expressing so beautifully in our lives. When we open our eyes, we open our ears, we open our minds and hearts to the beauty and love that is all around us, that we truly are. And so as we go within to this indwelling presence of Spirit, this infinite Spirit connected to the infinite Spirit of God, we can always, always remember who we are and bring this forth into our lives, into this beautiful community in this room, the community online, and the community beyond these walls. And as each one of us opens our hearts to this truth, it is like a drop into the pond that ripples out to reach out and touch the whole world, knowing that we are all beings connected by this one divine presence of God, this presence that is right here, right now. And so in feeling this indwelling presence of Spirit and knowing that we know that we are divine, we are love, and we each have the ability to step out into our lives and be a cause for good, for truth. I say thank you. Thank you to this divine presence. Thank you for the knowingness that we are so powerful and beautiful and strong and loving, and that we are one. And I now release my word to that perfect corresponding law, that law that is the doer, that is the creator. Knowing all is well, all is in divine flow. Release and let go and let it be so. And together we say, and so it is.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonders that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
And now I'm going to turn it over to the Queen Street Band.
This is
Go
one
for
of my
it,
originals called Love. What is it called?
Do what you love.
It's original as of now.
So original.
It's a new original called Do What You Love and Love What You Do. I'm gonna wake up to the morning light. I'm gonna wake up, everything's gonna be alright. 'Cause the intention that I'm setting here for the day is to be open to whatever comes my way. If the feeling that I have inside of my heart is a loving, it's a good place to start. Living any other way is no good. It's a way to live I never really understood. So Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love, do what you love. Oh, do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. If you do what you love what you do. Come on, Steve. The potential that's inside of you is only limited to what you think you can do. The love of your life is not to miss. Follow your heart, follow your bliss. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love, do what you love. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. If you do what you love what you do. If you're dozing or you're half asleep, you're not living your life on the edge of your seat. You're staring out the window watching life pass by, and the highlight of your day is watching wet paint dry. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. If you do what you love what you do. Whoa. The possibilities out there. Let your passion take you where joy surrounds you every day. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love, do what you love. Do what you love and love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. If you do what you love what you do. If you do what you love what you do. If you do what you love what you do. Yeah. You gotta love what you do.
Amazing in here without the ceiling tiles? Holy rockin'! You guys are awesome! Okay, so I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker today who truly loves what he does and is so on purpose, so brilliant, so wonderful. If you haven't watched him, you can always, after service here, go home and catch his service live online at the Global Truth Center. And this man is also our beloved minister's mentor and teacher. And so please let us give a warm Toronto welcome to Reverend James Mellon.
Thank you. Gosh, I said to Jonathan, it always feels like I'm coming to see my grandchildren. Really, because if you think about it, Jonathan is my child, you're my grandchildren, so it works out perfect. I'm just going to move this a little bit so that I can pay attention. First of all, I just want to say thank you. You have made me feel so welcome here, and I love Toronto, even in this weather. Really, it's been okay for me. And hello, Jonathan, I know you're there watching right now going, God, I hope he says everything right. First of all, that song, thank you. That was just a great, great song. And, you know, do what you love and love what you do. And when I listened to it, and Jonathan sent it to me in advance, I thought, what a great recipe for life, isn't it? Do what you love and love what you do. And I had missed the caveat, which is, because if you do what you love what you do. Brilliant, just great. But here's what I thought about that. It is a great recipe for life, but like most recipes, you have to do more than just know the recipe. You have to do more than just even understand the recipe. You actually have to execute the recipe, don't you? And how many people here have ever executed a recipe really horribly? Right? Right? It's right there in front of you, and you know Betty Crocker did it perfectly, and yet you're still putting it all together, and the outcome is just very different. But I love that idea because, for me, every single recipe works perfectly, absolutely perfectly, so long as you know who the chef is. Think about it. I'll wait. You know, I mean, are you like this famous 5-star restaurant chef, or are you like a short cook, you know, with a greasy pan in front of you? Or are you all of it at different times in your life? Both chefs, different experiences, just different realities, different expressions of being a chef of life. So Kevin and I, when we got here on Thursday, the first thing we did was go to a really phenomenal restaurant. And we didn't even know. Kevin was really being annoyed because I'm one of those finicky people that will walk through an entire neighborhood, past 1,000 restaurants and go, that one doesn't feel right. And he's like starving. And I'm like, yeah, that one doesn't work for me. And finally I had to turn to him and I just said, look, the perfect restaurant is waiting for us. And when we get there, I'll know. Usually that's when he says, God, I hate science of mind. So the truth is, we get to this, so we almost went back to a restaurant because I said, I give up, let's just go to that other place. But then we kind of walked a different direction and walked by this restaurant. And we both looked at it, looked in, and we went to eat there. And we have decided it is our best dining experience ever. Wow. And I'm old, so we've been at this a long time. We have been, really. And so I want to tell you the name of the restaurant, I'm sure many of you have been there, is Origin. How many have eaten at Origin? You got to go. It's a little pricey, but it's good. Origins. There's many of them. Origins. Okay, Origins. The chef's name, I wrote it down, Claudio Aprile. Yeah, so he's, yeah, you know, right. But there you go. Okay, so you know who that is, this amazing chef. So when we look at the recipes of our lives, do we know that we are this amazing chef? Do we know who we are to such an extent that we have that kind of dining experience throughout our entire life? And when I say dining, I really mean living. Do we have that kind of living experience through our entire life? So that was the 5th core concept that you did, Lena, right? And I just want to hand it over to Lena. Yes. I have taught many Science of Mind 300 classes, I think 7 now, and I'm on my 7th, and we're kind of in the same week you are. And of course, Jonathan was one of my practitioner students. And what you just expressed and how you explained it was so clear and powerful. And just so you know, how many of you have been in, I'm going to do it this way, how many of you have been in Science of Mind or New Thought 10 years plus? Raise your hand. 10 years plus. Okay, like 4 of you. Okay, great. 9 years. 8 years. 7 years. 6 years. 5 years. 4 years. Well, 3 years. 2 years. 1 year or less. Okay, it's a pretty eclectic group, you guys. Okay, so you must know something about Science of Mind. I want to tell you this. Ernest Holmes, of course, founded Science of Mind, or wrote the book Science of Mind. Ernest Holmes wrote this book in 1927, and we have taken the teachings of Science of Mind and expanded them. which Ernest Holmes basically said, if you are still reading what I wrote in 1927, in 2014, you missed my point. And I think a lot of people still are missing the point, but I can tell you at this center, you are not, because you have Reverend Jonathan, because he knows how to expand this teaching. And I knew that the minute I met him. He knows how to take this teaching and expand upon it. And one of the biggest things that this teaching has finally stepped into and expanded upon is the 3 magic word idea. 3 magic words. How many of you know what the 3 magic words are? Okay, good. So Jonathan's going to show you this movie at some point, but it's called, the 3 magic words are, I am God. Can we all say that together? I am God. Now, I can guarantee there are some of you sitting here today who are uncomfortable with that sentence. Because at my own center, where you would think they'd really get it by now, since I hammer it in every single Sunday, they still leave the church saying to me, I'm still having a problem with the I am God thing. And I get that. I was raised Catholic. It sounds sacrilegious to say I am God. But would it be sacrilegious to say I am a brilliant chef? No, unless you're not, right? No, I am God is no different than saying I am a brilliant chef. I am a brilliant economist. I am a brilliant doctor. I am a brilliant physician. I am a brilliant ... That's what I am God means. That there is that within me that I can tap into in such a way that everything I do is absolutely perfect. And that's why this core concept 5 is so important. So I'm going to read it again, Lena. This is a universe of wholeness, allness, oneness. Spirit is a transcendent, perfect whole that, in its infinite inclusivity, harmoniously embraces all seeming opposites. All seeming opposites. 2 important words, though, in that sentence is harmoniously embraces all seeming opposites. So I have a question for you today. How many seeming opposites showed up in your life this week? Anybody have any? Seeming opposites that just show up in life? This does not... You pointing to your mother? Okay, so this little girl back there just went... Is that Marjorie? Is that your daughter? Okay, love that. Husband and wives do that all the time too, right? So how many seeming opposites showed up in your life this week? And more importantly, what did you do with them? What did you do with these seeming opposites? In Lena's essay, she said something really important, which is this. We tend to take the seeming opposites of our lives and want to cancel them. You know that old New Thought thing, cancel, 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 cancel? You have a bad thought, it's like cancel, cancel. I don't cancel anything. Because if I have a thought, it's there for a reason. I want to know what it is. No matter what it is. Even if it's like, oh my God, you're so stupid today. Really? Who said that? Did I say that? Do I think that? Why do I think that? These are all important things. When you know you are God, there is no opposite to anything. It's just stuff. And when it shows up, you get to deal with it, honestly, from a place of experiencing it. I'm not afraid to experience whatever I need to experience. I'm sure Jonathan, or maybe he hasn't, has shared that I went through stage 4 cancer 4 years ago. I just came past 4 years of clean, cancer-free living. Yeah, thank you. And I can tell you this, people say to me, they say, there's going to come a time where you're just going to know that it was the most wonderful experience of your life. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. No. Have you done chemo? There's no way to say that that's the most wonderful experience of my life. Have you had radiation? There's no way to say that that was the most wonderful experience of my life. It wasn't, but it was an experience of my life. And I did live through it, and I did go through it, and it was still God. And I remember the day after maybe the 2nd or 3rd chemo, and I was like, I'm going to sail through this. No, I'm going to keep my hair, which I did, which they were shocked. As you can tell, I care about my hair. I'm trying an experiment to see how long I can grow it before Kevin absolutely throws a fit, because he likes me in short hair. So I knew I'd keep my hair, and I did. And my doctor said to me at one point, she said, James, you would have done better knowing that you wouldn't get nauseous. She said, because if you're that powerful to not lose your hair with cisplatin, you should have said, I'm not going to get nauseous. And I said, no, you know what? It never occurred to me that I wouldn't get nauseous. I bought into the nauseous, I will be sick on chemo. And I was really sick. And right now I weigh about 169 pounds. I weighed 132 at the end of it. And I'd still climb my little bony body up onto that stage and talk about signs of mind. The congregation would be like, wow, look at him. Not a lot left. But I can tell you this, when I was laying at the bottom of that toilet on that last day, that chemo, it was just so horrible. Such an awareness came to me, which is, this is God too. God's even here. God's at the bottom of my bathroom. I also noticed that my housekeeper is a really good cleaner. But God is right there at the bottom of the barrel because it's all God. Because if it's all God, what possibly else could there be, right? So, Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And I think we spend an awful lot of time trying to find out, who am I? Who am I? What's mine to do on this earth? What's my purpose? You know, if I hear what's my purpose one more time, I want to blow my head off. What's my purpose in life? You know what? You have one purpose in life. One purpose that Thomas Troward tells us. Do you know what that is? To just be. Yeah, sort of. No. Yes, sort of. Well, I don't know. Let me think about that. Yes, to just be. But here's what Thomas Troward says, and I love this. The only purpose of life is to enjoy life. That's it, which is so perfect for your song. Do what you love what you do. I refuse to do what I don't love anymore. I absolutely refuse to do it. I will not entertain doing something that I don't love. If something comes up that I know actually is mine to do in this moment, and I even contemplate that I'm not going to love doing it, I either have to decide not to do it, even though it's mine, or decide to love it anyway. And that's not just a bunch of la-la talk about how to do things you don't like. It really isn't, because I get to check things off all the time. This, I don't do this. This, I don't do this. So the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. So the title of my talk today is When in Rome. When in Rome, or when in Toronto, but when in Rome, right? So Kevin reminded me of this funny thing I do whenever I go to a country that doesn't speak English. I take on an affectation of their accent and speak English that way. Really. And I remember once we were at a German restaurant, and they handed me something, and I went, thank you. And Kevin says to me, what did you just say? I said, thank you. He said, no, you didn't. You said, thank you. I said, I know, because that's how they speak. He goes, no, that's how they speak when they're trying to speak English with their accent. You shouldn't speak with their accent trying to speak English, although you're speaking German. He was like, you're confusing everyone. But it doesn't stop me. Because I just think they feel more comfortable when I say thank you. I don't know. But the hard part is that it doesn't matter what country I'm in, I say thank you. So, when in Rome, right? So, the real title of my talk today is When in God. When in God. So, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. When in God, I don't think we know exactly what that means fully anymore, or ever did. When in God, when as God, if I'm God, now what? If I am God, how do I act? Do I have to suddenly become this pious, religious, spiritual person? I remember once someone said to me, God, it must be tough being a minister. You can't do all those fun things anymore. People they don't let you do. I'm like what? Go to strip clubs? What are you talking about? What is it I can't do as a minister? And here's the thing. Everything is God. Every single thing on this planet is God. So when I know I'm God, I just have to come from that place, that conscious place. Going back to this fifth core principle. If there's no duality and it's all God, how do you know what to do? How do you know what to choose? What do you think the answer is to that? And you can yell it out. What feels good? What feels good? Does this feel good to me? And I don't even use good anymore. I am like the hawk when it comes to duality. I don't want to know good and bad. And oh my God, I loved your thing about beauty. I don't think I'll ever tell anyone that they're beautiful again in the same way I used to. Because I used to think someone was beautiful and maybe this person wasn't as beautiful. And what does that mean? My God, that was so profound for me because I have a 15-year-old daughter, 14-year-old daughter, almost 15 growing up. And she's had this body, stuff with her body image. And she's as beautiful as anyone else. And I think that's where we have to come from. But she's got, blonde hair, blue eyes, a beautiful figure. She's the most beautiful girl in the world. I think that was a song. She's the most beautiful girl inside and out. And the day she looked at me and she said to me one day, she said, I think I'm fat. And I was like, oh my God, you're kidding. Because she's not. And even so, what if she was? What a brilliant idea. No duality. What if we were the people that got to walk this earth and saw everyone as beautiful? Everyone as beautiful. Everyone is perfect. Everyone is as vibrant. Everyone as important, as valuable. What if we really could live that way? Well, you know how we can live that way? And it's not blasphemy. To know that I am God. But, and here's where the blasphemy comes in. People think when you say I am God, you're saying I am God and therefore I'm better than you. Or I'm more than you. It's not. It's I am God and so are you. And so are we all. And if every country felt that way, we would not be experiencing what we're experiencing right now on this planet. We just wouldn't. So what if we were the people being called into that? What if Ernest Holmes, after all these years, inhabited a group of people that finally got it? Really? Open at the top. Eckhart Tolle said, only the truth of who you are is realized. Only the truth of who you are, if realized, will set you free. How many of you ever went to a Unity church? Yeah, or ever heard of Dr. Eric Butterworth? Brilliant man. Now, he was my first metaphysical teacher. I was supposed to go to a Science of Mind church at Lincoln Center, where all my friends were going, and instead, I ended up at Avery Fisher instead of Alice Tully, watching Eric Butterworth, and I stayed with him for 10 years, until I heard Dr. Walker speak. Then I moved over to Science of Mind. But the truth shall set you free is what I really got from Eric Butterworth. And when you look at Eckhart Tolle, only the truth of who you are, if realized, will set you free. And Wayne Dyer said, authentic empowerment is the knowing that you are on purpose doing God's work peacefully and harmoniously. God's work means your work, because that is who I am. God's work. I am doing God's work. Not just because I'm a minister or a singer or a playwright or whatever else I am. I'm doing God's work because I am God at all times. So it's not like I take this position of, I'm a man of God. I'm not a man of God. I am a man God. It's the gym. Works every time. But how are you all with this concept of I am God? Because here's the thing. If you're going to listen to these core concepts, and if this core concept is about oneness and wholeness, and there's no duality, you have to be God. What else would you be? If you're not God, what else are you, Linda? I'm God. Right? I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it? Who grew up Catholic? I grew up Catholic. Baltimore Catechism, did you all study that, or is that just American? The Baltimore Catechism. Where is God? God is everywhere. How do they miss the point? They teach you this at 7. God is everywhere. Well, then, this is where God is. Right here, fully present. Fully present. I also don't get involved anymore in the ocean and the wave. The wave, I am the wave of the ocean. I am the wave of the ocean. No, you know what? Because that's still duality. Because guess what I did one day? I took the wave, I brought a little jar to the beach, and when the wave came up, I took it. Put it in a jar, much to Kevin's chagrin, it's still sitting in our kitchen. And it sits on my kitchen. And I took it to church that Sunday, and I just reminded people that if they keep thinking they're the wave of the ocean, they're about as active as this glass of non-active water. And it just sits there. And then we did take it back to the beach, to throw it back, to teach my children that here's who really works. I threw it back into the water, but then I just couldn't leave without another wave. So I took it again. Because I love the image on my counter that says, every time you think you are separate from the ocean that is God, You might as well just jar yourself inside a jar and realize that you're still, and you're so still, there's no possible use for you. That's how powerful this understanding of science of mind is. So last week at the Global Truth Center, and thank you, Linda, for writing me that note, I ended my talk by saying, if I am God, I can ... And it was very provocative. People got me after church and then wrote me things during the week. If I am God, I can ... Because I want you to think about your mind for a second. If your mind fully encompasses and embraces I am God, then there shouldn't be one thing that shows up in your desire realm that you can't fully demonstrate. Because if I am God, ... Think about that. So really, our only journey is the journey home to the truth of who we are, which is God. But I thought today I would pose something else, which is this. If I am not God, I can ... If I'm not God, then what? Well, I can get really depressed. I can really worry a lot. How many worriers do we have here? 2 hands, that was good. I grew up in an Irish Catholic family whose motto was, if you are not worrying about something, you're not doing your job. Literally, my family, if you're not worrying about it, you don't care about it. Think about that. So, if I am not God, I can ... Which one of those 2 equations would you like to work on? Which one of those two equations would you like to embrace to such a degree that that's how you live your life, that's how you walk around? If I am God, ... And here's the thing, God shows up in everything, on all levels. God expresses everywhere at all times. So that means those things that we call undesirables are still God. They're just undesirable for us. So you get to live on whatever level of God you choose to live on. It's not you don't get to just say, I am God, and then all of a sudden you manifest this perfect, free life of no more emotions, feelings, challenges, problems, nothing. You're dead, frankly. No, it's it just hit me. I was like, no, that's death. Okay. No, if I am God, I get to just decide which level of consciousness do I want to live on. So this shows up in my life, right here. How am I going to know it? What am I going to know it as? Who am I going to know it from? If I'm God, I can ... I can know it this way. I can know it this way. And there really is a way, as Linda said, to stay in the absolute and deal with the relative. Because as Ernest Holmes says, I don't know if Jonathan has given you this quote yet, right before Ernest Holmes died, he wrote a beautiful thing called the Seminar Lectures, which if only the Science of Mind movement would start teaching from there and expand, instead of going back 35 years and staying there. Because the Seminar Lectures, you may not know this, but when Ernest Holmes was towards the end of his life, he didn't recant a lot of what he said, but he said it was very simple. It was simplistic, because this is what he really came to know, and it's this. Do you all know the difference between the absolute and the relative? The absolute is like that which is the perfection of all, God. Absolute, the divine. And the relative is all the stuff that happens on the relative plane of action. The normal things that happen in your day-to-day living. It's the relative, what comes from our thinking and creating. Ernest Holmes at the end said, wait. There's no such thing as the absolute and the relative. Because the relative is the absolute at the level of the relative. Did you get that? So this thing down here, I'll call it cancer, is God at the level of the cancer. It's still God. We say we have choice. We now have to live that life of choice. We have to prove that life of choice. So that you can't possibly say that you are not at choice for whatever is going on in your life. And that's a positive thing. It's not something to beat yourself up over if you're someplace you don't want to be. It's a place of saying, oh my goodness, right where I am, God is. But God is also at a bigger expression of this. And I am that too. So now I'm at choice. Ernest Holmes said, the universal mind contains all knowledge. It is the potential ultimate of all things. To it, all things are possible. The universal mind. One other thing I want to make sure I leave you with today is this idea. The universal mind is that mind that is all present everywhere. I've heard it said many times, well, I'm not all of God, I'm just a part of God. And I understand that, but I still think it's a way to keep us separate. I still think it's a way to teach duality. I still think it's a way to hold us back. I am the allness of God, and so are you. But I am the allness of God. At any moment that I step into, like that meditation that you did, that was so beautiful, when you get into meditation, wherever you go in mind, or you suddenly, haven't you had those moments where you just suddenly feel your heart has just expanded? Have you ever been on a beach and watched a sunrise or a sunset, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, it couldn't get better. And you're just like, I just want to be absorbed into this. Well, frankly, you are absorbed into it. That's why you experience it that way. So you are the universal mind. And as Ernest Holmes says, the universal mind contains all knowledge. You contain all knowledge. You contain all knowledge. You contain all knowledge. Not just the knowledge you've managed to get a hold of during these last 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, 70, 80, I don't know how old you all are, but however long you've been here. That's not just the knowledge. That's just the relative knowledge that you've amassed through your experience of life. You are all of knowledge. That's how big you are. That's how powerful you are. And therefore, all things are possible. Let's all just say that. All things are possible. One more time. All things are possible. I'd like you to say it again, but I would like you to add, for me. All things are possible for me. One more time. All things are possible for me. Now, I'd like you to keep that sentence and add, because I know who I am. All things are possible for me because I know who I am. One more time. All things are possible for me because I know who I am. And then you're going to add, Jonathan's probably dying laughing because I'm always like, please keep the affirmation short. Please keep them short. All things are possible for me because I know who I am God. Ready? Here we go. All things are possible for me because I know who I am God. Do you all have that now? When you go home, I want you to write it out and put it somewhere so that you see it. Just for the rest of this week until Jonathan gets back here. Oh, he's back here tomorrow, but till next Sunday. I want you to write it out and just put it there. All things are possible for me because I know who I am. I am God. And basically, all we did was reiterate what Ernest Holmes said. But we just took it that next step. We actually started to embody it, to live it. So, you can be a 5-star chef. You can be a pastry chef. How many people like pastry chefs? I'm gluten-free now. I'm trying to get them to all cook with gluten-free stuff. You can be a short order chef. You can be any kind of chef because you can be any kind of God. You can express God any way you want. Now, what I like to say is, how about all of it? How about I'm all of it? Some days, I just want a burger. I just want to throw it on the grill and cook it and eat it. Yes? Don't you have those days? Every day. You're carb-free? That's good. And some days, that's very funny. And some days you want a gourmet dinner, don't you? Some days you just want to go and have, like we had at Origins, just this most incredible meal that just never stopped coming. It was just incredible. And some days you want to fast. Some days you're like, I don't have time for food. It's good, I'm just going to drink water and lemon. Those are the fun days. But it's choice, yes? It's just a choice. What if we are just here to choose and to just try, and to, when something shows up in our lives, to actually get it? Oh, well, on some level, I chose this. On some level, I chose this. So what in God's name was I thinking when I chose this? And what do I need to know about that? That's the excitement of life. That's the excitement. There's a wonderful book called The Thought Exchange, and I just taught 10 weeks of it. And I brought the author to LA to teach the last class with me. And I know Jonathan will teach that course here. It is brilliant, this book, The Thought Exchange. It's a great tool for science of mind teaching, a great tool. So Here's one of the things I get from the thought exchange. He asks you in the book to experience your sensations, experience your emotions. Don't keep canceling them out. Don't try to find, we spend so much time trying to figure out a way not to feel this. How do I fix this emotion? How do I get to deal with it? How can I deal with it? How do I change it to this? As opposed to, what if we just were willing to feel what we feel? And he told this great story about Lucy Arnaz, and the man who wrote the book is a very successful Broadway composer, conductor, incredible man. And he said he was on stage doing, he was getting an award, and Lucy Arnaz was supposed to introduce him. And Lucy was standing backstage, and she said, all right, let's talk about the thought exchange for a minute. My throat is scratchy, I'm feeling a hand at my throat, I'm nauseous in my stomach, and those are my sensations. Now, thought exchange. And then they said, ladies and gentlemen, Lucy Arnaz, and she went, I guess I can go out there with that. It's that. Can you feel what you feel and know that it's all God? Here's the great gift of that. When you know that, you're like the Energizer Bunny. You just keep going, and it's always good. So, who I am trumps what's going on every time. Who I am trumps what's going on every single time in your life. So, do what you love what you do. The reason you can do that, and the reason why you wrote that, is because, Pierre, you know you're God. When you know that you are God, then whatever you do, you get to love. Because that's what God is. God is just love. So what I know for this center, and I absolutely know for this center, as I look at all these incredible faces, and I just see this great work that Reverend Jonathan is doing, I know that you are the people. You are the Torontonians. Is that right? Was that right? Wasn't that good? Thank you. Hey, you are the people. You are the people that are ready to take I am God to the streets. Not just being God, but seeing God everywhere. No more duality, just the absolute truth that I can do, all things are possible for me because I know who I am. I am God, and so are you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Grandpa.
Oh, that was good, Dennis. And you guys can keep doing this exchange. It's great. It's great. In the summer. In the summer. Oh, I think you should have been here in January. Oh, thank you so much, Reverend James. You're brilliant. Thank you. All right, it is our time to give back, and please take whatever it is that you have to offer the center today and hold it in your hands and bless it and know that we thank you for all that you do give to us. And we're going to read our divine givingness on the back of the songbook, please. We'll read it out loud all together. I know that God is the source of all supply, and that money is God in action. I know that my good is here now. I claim an abundance of money to spare and share. I know that true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. I bless all that I have now, and I bless the increase. I give thanks for this good. I know that my gift today goes toward to heal and bless. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, and I know that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. Yes, you are contributing to the vision of this center as things change and expand here and grow, and thank you for that. We are going to sing Point of Power, number 27 in your songbook as the baskets go around.
2, 3, 4. In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel grace. In this moment I feel grace. In this moment I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now.
Come on up, Judy and Linda. Let us join together and know that all that we receive here today is a blessing. It is God in action. It is the growth, the expansion of these teachings, this center, this community, and also of consciousness. It is a divine currency for which we are truly, truly grateful, knowing that this currency is the energy of God that is everywhere present. I give great thanks for all that we have received today, knowing that the board honors and respects and uses this gift to further this center. And in this gratitude, I release and let go to the Eternal One. I say thank you. I let go and I let the abundance flow. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Okay. So we have a few thank yous, and first of all, I'd like to say thank you to all of you that stayed last week and did the spring cleaning from the bottom up. Thank you very much. And today, thank you to Linda and Judy, who are board members on duty. Setup was Christina, Toby, and Judith. Our greeters, Aurora and Margaret Ann. In our bookstore today, we have Mark. And in the sound booth, we have Carrie, making everything sound great. Tony is our camera operator. Tony. Go, Tony. And Jim, Fran, Carmen, and Patrick, an extra thank you to you for coming in and cleaning up. And they vacuumed up all the insulation that came out of the roof and put the place back together. Thank you so much. And thank you, Linda, for flowers. Thank you very much. And also, Thank you to all of you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you to all of you online. How wonderful to have you here. And many, many blessings to you all. And then also, a big thank you to James and to Kevin for coming along. Thank you so much. And I'm going to invite Reverend James up to do our closing treatment, and our chant is, I surrender.
I surrender. I trust and I know. And as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love.
So what I know in this moment is that surrender means to give up, to take that divine intelligence that is found within each and every one of us and to give it up in consciousness, recognizing that all there is the divine, all there is this breathtaking, passionate consciousness of love and life and light, peace, power, beauty, joy, wisdom. All of this is what I am. It's what every person in this room is, those online, and as it extends out into the world. And so I know that everything that has been brought forth here this morning came from that perfectly purposeful place of the enjoyment of life, living life to the fullest, as its fullest capacity. I am so grateful to the leadership of Reverend Jonathan, to all the brilliant minds at this center, to everyone that enters these doors, knowing that they are always fed, they are always nourished, and that they leave here more complete, more aware of who and what they are. For I am God is the truth of every soul on the planet and beyond. And so I'm so grateful, and I just step out of the way now knowing that life leads me always forward, and I just let it be so. As together we all say, and so it is.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. One more time. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Many blessings. And thank you to our Queen Street Band. Woo! Have a great Sunday, everyone.
Ordinary Day, page 9.
I got a smile on my face, I got four walls around me. I got the sun in the sky, all the water surrounds me. Oh, hey, oh. Yeah, I win now, but sometimes I lose. I've been battered, but I never bruise. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Janie sings on the corner, what keeps her from dying? Yeah, let them say what they want, she won't stop trying. Oh, hey, oh. She might stumble if they push her around. She might fall, but she'll never lie down. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. Hey! In this beautiful life, there's always some sorrow. Yeah, it's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. Hey-oh. It's up to you now if you sink or swim. Just keep the faith and your ship will come in. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. It's alright, it's alright. I got a smile on my face, I got four walls around me. Have a great day.